Made in Hollywood.
An author is the original creator of a written work, and a screenwriter adapts an existing work or creates an original screenplay for production in movies or television. Jojo Moyes graduated from Royal Holloway, University of London, and worked as a journalist for 10 years. Ms. Moyes has since become a full-time author and has written 12 novels.
Hi, I'm author Jojo Moyes. I'm here for Made in Hollywood, and this is a scene from Me Before You.
We've tried the chicken factory.
I'm still having nightmares about those giblets.
We've tried beautician.
Turns out hot wax is not my friend.
I'm running out of options for you here, Louisa.
Please, I'll take anything.
And this is new care and companionship for a disabled man.
So what inspired Me Before You?
It was a chance story I heard on the radio. It was a real-life news story about a young man who was an athlete, who was left quadriplegic after an accident, and who persuaded his parents several years later to take him to end his life to a centre for assisted suicide. And I was really shocked by the story, and the more I read, I realised that sometimes things are not always as black and white as you would like them to be, and those areas, those grey areas, are the areas that interest me as a writer.
Do you have any experience of caregiving?
I've never done it, but I'm sure I could learn.
Then let's go meet Will.
I read the book, so when I watched the movie, I compare the visions in the film to what I envisioned when I read the book. How does it compare to what you actually visioned as you wrote the book?
I worked constantly with Thea, the director, Thea Sharrock, and her constant reference was, let's go back to the book. And I was the voice in everybody's ear going, no, 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 we can't lose that because this, and we can't, lose that. Maybe we can shift this around a bit. And I think that's why they wanted me involved, because the book has such a particular balance between comedy and tragedy, between the love story and the other elements, that it would have been a very easy thing to just go the wrong way, and we just were all working really hard to keep those elements balanced.
Will, this is Louisa Clark. Nathan will talk you through Will's routines and equipment.
You don't have to talk across me, Mother. My brain isn't paralyzed. Yet.
When you decided that you wanted to be an author, what exactly did you do to really become that?
Well, I wrote 3 books before I got one published. The first book I wrote because I'd started loads of books and I just wanted to know that I could get to the end of one. And the second one I wrote because I wanted to get published. And the third one I wrote because the second one wasn't good enough. And then by the third one, when I got rejected, I thought, I can't keep doing this. This is ridiculous. I had a baby by then and a full-time job. And luckily, I didn't give up. 3 months later, I wrote 3 chapters of a new one, and that did get picked up, and I've been in print ever since.
Is it really that hard to get published?
For some people, I think that my first 3 books were me teaching myself to write, and I accept that they were not good enough. And some people go and do courses, some people have a natural talent that shines through. I needed to learn by hard graft, but when I talk to students, I always say to them, I think the real power behind a career is persistence. You have to be prepared to get knocked down and get back up and keep getting back up and learn from your mistakes and just try and do better. I think that's really key.
Good morning. Oh, he hates me. Every time I speak, he looks at me like I'm stupid.
To be fair, you are pretty stupid.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that yet.
Is there a structure to writing? How do you learn how to write a full novel?
For me, I'm a planner. I think writers divide pretty cleanly into planners and people who fly by the seat of their pants, and that to me would be utterly terrifying. I couldn't do it. So I tend to have a rough idea where the plot is going to go, and then my main work is building characters.
I just thought I'd see if I could fix some of these.
Me smashing those photographs was not an accident.
I create histories for them, I put them through tests, I work out what's in their handbags, all the things that are going to tell me really key, informative things about who that person is, because then you find, if you know all that stuff about someone, 95% of it you won't use on the page. When you bring those characters together, say you've got your meet cute between your man and your woman, if you know them well enough by that point, the meeting will be interesting. If you don't know them and you try and push them together, it's like a really bad blind date. Nothing happens. And you keep pushing them together and still it's just not interesting or it's not compelling. So what I found by trial and error over the years is if you know more about them, that's what works.
I'm just trying to do my job as best I can. So it would be really nice if you didn't try and make my life as miserable as you apparently make everyone else's.
Are there any other qualities or characteristics that you think teens need if they really want to succeed in this industry?
The key thing is to listen to people who are actually going to give you good information and be prepared to hear that what you're writing might not be good enough. You know, it's a hard thing to hear, but sometimes it's necessary, and some of the best spurs I've had to move forward have come from people telling me stuff wasn't good enough. So, you know, be robust. It's painful, but it's useful.
Interesting choice of footwear.
What do you mean by that?
They can't be from around here.
Why not?
Because this is the kind of place people come to when they got tired of actually living.
I'm happy here.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be. You only get one life. It's actually your duty to live it as fully as possible.